Hi, Ellie Belly. It's the after. Talking to Erin about how so that kind of leads into needing time off to do these things. Okay, we need to behave. And what is it that we're so nervous about having a day off? I guess my problem was the fact that I wanted to take over in order to help you. But then what is it about you that doesn't want to get another day off? Are you that desperate? Or is it something about how I know that we need time? Or is it losing the control of being in there enough? Yeah. Yeah, I need to clean the house. I guess I started moving everything on Saturday. That's there's probably a very valid reason for that. Something about rail cars being 17.5 feet. Belly belly stop. I need to send the health cert today. You know how the other day when Bailey was colicking and I said I girl bossed a bit too hard and how IB gave Banamine? When I was talking to Shelby and she was just like, I'm just trying not to get emotional about leaving, like not having horses with Megan. She's like, no, now we're going on a lease. And I was like, oh, first time? And it's so crazy because the fact that yeah. Well, okay, fair. Yeah. Well, either way, I'm just sort of like, at this point, like, I just know something sucks and I move on. I just know something sucks and I move on. And also at the same time, I think that that's one area that you struggle. And it's funny because Erin and I were talking about home last week and how, well, hiring new people and how frustrating it was to keep constantly trying to rehire new people and then have them quit in a little bit or not work out or whatever. And they all have fucking valid reasons, but also very unvalid reasons to not working out. And it just kind of made me think of like when mom was like, I get it, you're your father's daughter and she's mine. That makes a lot of sense because mom Mom ran around like a chicken, like from Chicken Little, about hiring new people, and I'm like, oh, that's Megan's vibe now too. Like, and it's not, I'm not necessarily trying to narc anything, besides just like interesting to see the two line up again. And I'm like, oh yeah, I have seen somebody with high anxiety. Well, yeah. It's literally it's a lot of realizing that life is wasted energy. So putting that much energy into it is where you're having the hardest time. Good surgery. Chores, oh chores. So nice, got a load of fresh sawdust. The only thing that sucks is like the new barn. Sawdust bags are $4 a pop. This, $40 for a dump truck load. That is one of my largest problems right now. This is the first time I've been under, yeah. So this is the first time my bank account has been under $10,000 all year. And it's at $9,998. Well, then I paid $2,000 off of my credit card. So it should have been $9,780. Oh yeah, $2,000 got added on from the weekend. Could you have done that faster? Like you said, when I did it, like, it's not even real. Whew. Apparently attractive enough. Yeah, we know where she lives. to again, so hard on the fact that like I'm either working out, either work there or not work there. But the fact is that if you need me to not work there in order to have somebody else work there, that's fine. So do not let me block you on that, because I had learned how to get in the cleaning room on a Saturday. I do know that going live all day will take care of stuff. I have maybe going to a bar. I have stuff I could do. It's just, I was trying to get in the mentality that I was working a weekend and how to make that fit, and then you want it back. And I can either be in one or two mentality. For the rest of the week, I was like, okay. And I'm sorry that it doesn't really work out for me on the Sunday versus Saturday situation, because that's the day that like moving horses was lining up. If you want future Saturdays, you just have to let me know. Because now I'm like, okay, hang on, there's actually a lot of things I need to clean. I also really need to schedule when to pick up a dining room table off of Facebook Marketplace. And it just needs to happen. I can't do it the action that has to do. So, not to be like a tad cocky, but I tried to listen to a podcast that was like, it ended up being a money podcast, but it was something like how to help your friends. No, money. And there was a person who called, it was a podcast that said that like, he was like, how do I like convince my friends to go down like this path of financial stability that I'm like on when they're like, if they're not like asking for help or whatever. And I was like, first off, a men's podcast is dreadful. Just awful. I mean, second off, yeah, it was like, wow. And then it was like, yeah, of course, some cocky ass man's like, I'm making it. And like, so one thing I kind of found weird about that was the two people who were talking, their suggestion was to live so great that others would ask. And I'm like, yeah, but have you ever met somebody who's financially stable? They're the fucking pain in the ass we call Ultra. $5 Ultra drafts expensive. Okay? He's the one who bought Tom Banneker's new house. Clearly financially doing fine. In the fucking ass. However, they'd be asking, who's trying to spend his money like that? However, what I like found really that's kind of like what I was getting at, is I was just like, okay, well, the people who have the most money I've seen tend to have like the shittiest life, and the ones who have like, yeah, whatever. So from there, though, I was just sort of like, not everything, but like meeting Kaylin, having Kaylin, like, do I look, do you want to see more photos of my horses going to the World Show? Do you think I don't know how to deal with ulcers? Like, you know, when I'm like, well, did you serve her all night? And she's like, I guess that's what we have to do. And I was like, yeah, and you have to do it for the Inseparol, or unless you're going to get a shot. And she was like, the what? And I was like, oh my god. And it's just sort of weird because I'm like, your horse is having this medical issue because it's rare living. It didn't get the proper vet care because of rare living. And now it's not going to get the proper medical care because of rare living. Do you need me to help you out? Also, like, you just moved into a house with a 3-year-old. Do you want to find out how to work a job? Like, actually, like, it's just weird to me. I'm like, are you okay? And I guess what I'm going to say, I'm thinking out loud right now, is just sort of like, the problem with a lot of people is they don't even know they should be. Especially when they should do it for something. Because I'm like, you okay, dude? You like, is this how you wanted to live? know. It's just, it's like, I don't mean to be bad coffee, but it's like, you know, I just, you want to know how I got here? Or do you think it, like, did you think I got lucky, or do you think I have to go? And I don't just mean on my hands. I think she's literally about to find out that she can't afford horses. Hi, Ray Ray. You would be the type of horse that can't be led like this. Yeah, you would be the type. Okay. This thing's really off today. Yeah. It was just weird because, like, on one hand, I don't really need to do that coffee, on the other hand, I'm like, and then on top of it, did you think about if she got busted and narrowed? Here, yes. Yeah, because I told like 8 people, and apparently it's not you. So yesterday, 2 days ago, whenever Corey went, she came home. I was like, hey, how'd your lesson go? I heard it wasn't going to be on Andy. And she's like, yeah, that fucked off for like the first time in a lesson. And it just killed me because first off, I was like, oh. So she wrote something. Sarah has some sort of hookup where there's a guy who breeds Aries who needs some training. And they used to be getting trained by Annie, the farrier. Yeah. And they weren't like getting finished or started. And so now somehow Sarah has them. You get what you pay for, bud. Anyhow. So instead of that, she was writing, and I was like, really? Like, you're just writing that instead? And she's like, oh, well, that's the best part. It's like, we all traded like riding around other people's horses to like learn and experience. And I'm like, no. And also she was like, the horse just got like really unbalanced because it like picked up the wrong lead and then it switched. And I don't know, maybe I like bucked or reared, and I was like, it did neither. And she was like, and then like I just fell off, and I'm finding out that I fall off on the right side. I'm like, what? And meanwhile, I gotta keep a straight face doing this entire thing. And she's like, yeah, so it's just because like Annie didn't teach her how to do leads. And I'm like, you have to fucking ask, right? And I was like, well, I guess that's green on green. And she's like, what's that? And I was like, makes black and blue. You didn't know that expression? And she's like, what? And I was like, green rider, green horse. Enjoy your black and blue. I was like, oh my god. It just backs though. And she's like, it's my second time though, because like the other time she was riding another out in the field, and like she just got back from Iceland and had learned how to just like open up, barrel run. And she was like, so he just wanted to go, and I just decided I didn't have to hold him back, and we ran. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you did that. That is not what, okay. And then I was like, oh, and she was like, and then when, not only that, but the other thing for me was like, yeah, you guys love your helmets, because you also love eating shit. Like, I just don't fucking, it's so hardcore. I'm like, we thought it was a joke, but it's serious. Like, we go off as often as you know, we would all think about it. I'm not losing my mind. You're right. I'm on the phone. Sorry, guys. It's a little hard to just talk to a screen all day. I feel bad because I told Sadie, was like, should I come over? And I was like, I really don't need you, but if you needed hours or something, she's like, oh, I don't want you to pay me if we're not like meeting. She's like, I don't want to go over, but also like, and there's like Tuesday when she showed up, she saved my fucking points. But like, how do you feel about rearranging house decor? What time is it right now? Okay. It was just, not noon 06, nothing. It was, man, this is a pile over here. I want to move this mattress onto his mother's bed. Remove all of those comforters and throw them the fuck out, because apparently that's all you can do. I don't really understand how, why, what, but whatever. I can't live under the pressures of plastic. Maybe, I don't think homeless people put her on the it when I found out that mine was timed, the auto cannot go as fast as I type. So I'm like, faster! Oh. I'm never not going to do that. Cool, yeah. This corner is fucked. I think that this is like going down. I told you like I want to make monthly. And I just kind of wonder how much we do, and I know you don't want to, but also at the same time, do you, like, if it works out well enough that like you're allowed to change your mind, like, well. I just will say what I said. It just will be interesting too, because it is a massive fucking gamble. Is it going to be a 40-degree winter that makes it so, like, we do work all the time? Or is it going to be a -3 winter where it's like, this is just hell and this water freezes back here and like everything else happens too? Like, you know what I mean? Just, I mean, because we'll never ever have seen the bubble burn coming. It has never been a problem. That's also just one of those really fucking annoying things about, like, kind of what I was saying earlier is you actually don't, I'm not going to say it like this is how it naturally happens, but yeah, you actually have to just not care. I don't know how, necessarily. If you do care, I don't know how to tell you not to care. I'm no help with that. I don't know how to tell you, like, too bad, it didn't work out with Amanda, it didn't work out with, I don't even remember any of their names. Well, also, at the same time, there's that one that, yeah, exactly. I'm not saying that, like, I know how to say, don't let it bother you. And I know at the same time, it just, what do they call it when you do a crime but it's been too much time to get charged for it still? Statute of limitations? Statute of limitations. It just feels like I wish that could be it. It would probably, if that was a thing, if you could be like, shut off the memory of how bad something is, and like, how the fuck do girls have more kids after going through one pregnancy? But anyhow, how do you shut off the statute of limitations of how long will you pay off-track thoroughbreds? For as long as I remember looking at Factor telling me to shoot a fucking gun, I will never forget that. And I will never look at another off-track because of that. Well, you gotta get over it. I the fuck will not. Like, because after that fucking gun got pulled, I had to sit down and cry. Like, and then I had to remember to call my vet, who didn't stop talking, to tell her that I hadn't killed myself. Like, no, I don't know how to tell you that, like, I won't ever be able to get over that. So you can't ever, get over how much stress it is. But that is the secret to fucking life, is to just somehow stop giving a fuck. But then it's also you end up getting walked over and stuff. I wore black yesterday. What asked me if I wore purple yesterday? I swear to God, the coloration on a screen is atrocious. I'm gonna start wearing 2 different colors so you guys can tell them apart. Saturday because you were fucking twins. It was so. How do you forget? Web page of its amenities and tag that all of my shit instead of my link tree. Dong 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 dong.